Hello and welcome to the first annual Moon Mayoral debate, the debate that will decide who is the mayor of Moontropolis. Juliet and I, your moderators, are here to ask the questions and ensure that this remains an even-toned, legitimate debate. You can also vote on the Tiltify. That link is pinned, and any donation over $10, you can ask a question to our constituents. We also have our own questions that we will ask, but before we do any of that, we need to let our candidates make their opening remarks. So in alphabetical order, I'm just going to run down the list. You are all going to have a minute to say anything about your platform that you want to say, and then we'll cut you off when your time is up. So, Julia, are you ready to time our candidates?
We are ready.
All right, Cloud, 2 minutes on the clock.
1 minute.
Oh boy.
1 minute on the clock. Sorry.
Hi, it's me, Clown Crabs fan. I'm literally a JPEG. Also, I'm the ontologically correct existence. I'm always right and I've never been wrong ever, and I've never made a mistake. It's true. That's why I should win. Winks at camera. Need I say more?
Are you ceding the rest of your time?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I have been informed we just hit 3,000 donated. Thank you so much, everybody, for your generous donation.
That's why you should vote for me, because I willed that to happen. I didn't do the donation or anything, but that was me doing that with my mind.
Of course.
All right. Well, if Clown cedes the rest of her time, then I'm going to pass it down to Jeff Stormer. You have 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. I've been in this race for about 45 minutes, so I don't have a lot of prepared remarks like a lot of my competitors. But you know what? I got a couple things I got to get off my chest. See, my name is Jeff Stormer. You probably know that name because every podcast on this joke of a network has taken some pot shot at me while I'm not in the room. It is nothing but Jeff Stormer this and Philadelphia that. And you know what I've done about that? You know what I've done about that for 4 years now? I've laughed and I've smiled and I've buried the hate. So you can imagine, I'm sitting in my house today about 45 minutes ago and I look at my phone, I look at bsky.app and I see that some motherfucker named Lord Riley Hopkins has posted a campaign graphic that's 2 words. Go Birds. You're stealing my bit in my house? So yeah, I decided about a half hour ago I was going to run for mayor. And I'm running on a 4-word platform, and I want you in the chat to donate, vote with your dollars with a 4-word platform, because I'm a single-issue voter, motherfucker. Justice for Jeff Stormer. Play my music. I yield my time. We don't have music?
Thank you, candidate Stormer.
All right, then.
All right, next on the ticket is Nessa. Nessa, you have 1 minute on the clock.
Hello, voters. You're going to see many people here. People with psychic powers who are PNG tubers. People who have a vendetta against the network for some personal thing. The king, who is Riley. Riley's king, and he's running for mayor. I don't know if he would become king mayor or mayor king or what that would even be, but the ghosts in my apartment are not happy about it. Don't worry, there's not a king anymore. But they're all running for their own selfish reasons. And so am I. I'm running to be mayor for my own power, so that I can be in charge of all of you and tell you about it. What are politicians? Corrupt. I am transparent, mostly, like this cheap glass that I got off Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to tell you, they're worried about their own thing. I'm worried about enriching the city and myself. I'm going to get rich through the city, being mayor, and I'm going to make all of you not as rich, but I will put things into public projects. I'm not slashing taxes, though. Just saying. Taxes will remain the same. We have the ability to make me mayor, and I will tell you that you didn't get a government contract because it went to my cousin. Okay? We have the ability. When you don't do something and someone else does me a favor, shit will go to them. It will be transparent and open, equal in its unequality. And that's why I think I should be mayor. Because all these people care about themselves, but I care
Nessa,
about
I'm afraid
myself
that's your time.
and you.
Oh. All right. Next is our incumbent Moon King, Riley Hopkins.
Boo!
Wow. It's been a pleasure to hear from a lot of my opponents here today. I'm excited to have each one of them on the stands and excited to hear from Sylvie in but just a moment. It has been a pleasure being your Moon King over these past few years, ever since I was brought in on the party from Emma. And it has been great raising up people like our current belt holder, Sylvie, who won after I sacrificed myself for her in Worms, and frankly, I do that again. Unlike Jeff, I feel the city of Philadelphia should be open to everybody and should not be gate-kept behind
Double
those
boo!
who believe that Go Birds should just be used for them. And secondarily, I'm aiming to raise money for charity, which is why if you check on the Moonshot donation app right now, you will see a poll has just been started. That poll is for if Jason Todd across all Moonshot podcasts will live or die. That's going to run for the rest of the weekend. That is Jason Todd on Infinity. That's Jason Todd in Bump of the Night. That's Jason Todd in Crosstown. You can decide if Jason Todd lives or dies with your dollar. Are you going to let it happen to him again, or did you miss your shot the first time?
Riley, Candidate Hopkins, I'm afraid that's your time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Sylvie, you've got 1 minute on the clock.
All right. Hi, everyone. For those of you who've seen my campaign video, I will largely be just recapping a lot of that. I'm a big believer in the potential of the moon, but it's currently under threat of people who want to exploit it for profit. So I would like us to be a beacon for those who eventually come to the moon in order to basically show them how to be friends with the moon, live together with it. For my platform, that means investing in the arts, also performing cultural outreach. It means building a strong community, because I believe that with a strong community, everything else will come from there. I think sustainability is incredibly important at this stage, given that a lot of exploitative measures will fly in the face of that. And showing a concrete example of how to do it right, I'm looking at the Archaeological Domes project in particular, and I'm really excited about it. And also making sure that there are no satellite swarms over the moon, because we've seen what's happened there on Earth. And of course, we can't forget the sapphics in this. We're talking about the moon. That's it. That's my platform to start, and I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, candidates. We will be moving to the question portion. Of course, remember that you, the viewer, and the voter can donate for additional questions. Let's start with our first question here, which is, should Moontropolis use artificial gravity to be like Earth? Or is lunar gravity good enough? Candidate Nessa, let's start with you. What's your take on gravity in this situation?
The gravity that we have is fine. We don't need anything artificial except for the weird dyes that I put into food. That we do need, because I'm heinously addicted to red dye 40. But artificial gravity is just fake gravity. You don't want fake things in your life. You want real things. And the moon is fine as she is. We should be putting that money into roads schools, so our children can become Rhodes scholars. We should be putting it into my cousin Vinny's pocket so that he can build us more roads and schools. And that's what I stand on. No arts, only skulls and roads.
So for a skulls-only platform, we might be expecting a throne. Speaking of thrones, King Riley, what's your take on gravity and skull thrones, apparently, coming from candidate Nessa?
While artificial gravity is something that is exciting in its use, it is something that I don't know if the moon needs. As we move up here to the moon, we did that to escape Earth's gravity, not to not to stay in it, not to be held down by it. I can see use cases for it in people's homes if they'd like to. I can see use cases for it on a private level, but there's no reason that the moon should have to put in moon gravity across the way. I simply don't see the value in it. In all my time in playing city builders, many things are sometimes sweeping things to make it like another place. I just don't cut it.
And of course, I will invite any candidates who seek a rebuttal to, of course, raise their hand, or in the case of a
For
PNG
clown, just I
tuber,
guess
I
talk over and
raised my
over.
hand. Hey, how do I do that?
yes, of course, through the psychic administration of language.
Wow.
Clown, what's your rebuttal on the question of gravity and, again, these unaddressed skull throne allegations from candidate Nessa?
I awkwardly put my hand down. That was just me trying to figure out how to raise my hand.
A
So you don't have a
non-answer from
stance on the
candidate.
issues?
But
Interesting.
I do have a stance on the issues, and I, for one, think artificial gravity is good because it will fuck up the orbit real bad and crush us into like a cool moon ring, and then there'll be like more moons per moon around the Earth.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Interesting work.
I think we should go more than Earth gravity. Yes.
Candidate Stormer.
I got a take. I hear this question. I want to read this question again so that we got a clear understanding. The question that was given was, is lunar gravity good enough? I want to talk about that phrase, good enough. Because when I hear that phrase, I think about a little year called 1793 in a little city that was at the time in a sign of disrespect, hashtag justice for Jeff Stormer, called Filthy Delphia. There was a yellow fever epidemic in Philadelphia, and all of the surrounding cities, including a cesspool called Baltimore, as well as New York and a couple other places, closed their doors to Philadelphia. And you know what we did? We took care of our own. I don't think lunar gravity is good enough. My competitors think that lunar gravity is good enough. You know what I think? I think lunar gravity is better. I think it's better for us to be who we are. I think that Earth needs to meet us where we are. We don't need to meet Earth where it is. My competitors are all interested in complacence. I am interested in innovation. I yield my time. Play my music.
Still no music. Hey, Jet. Still no music. We couldn't afford
No music?
Candidate
I figured
Stormer,
we would
I'm
get, like,
afraid,
music.
having joined the campaign so late, you did not submit music in advance. We understand it's a rush situation, but
This is
yes,
a fucking disaster.
this is the case. Candidate Sylvie, what makes you the best candidate for limited gravity governance?
Ooh. Well, it's a little bit different than the last question. I was expecting the last question, but I'll answer this one instead. Actually, I'm going to make a parallel to the last question while I'm at it.
Of course, please do.
In the last question, we were talking about letting the moon be its own thing, separate from the Earth. And I think that applies to the real physical reality of gravity. I agree with everyone. And I also agree with Jeff's point that good enough is maybe a bit loaded. But gravity isn't just a physical thing. There's different types of gravity. There's gravity, more metaphorical gravity. And when it comes to building community, the best thing you can do is sit back and listen and let people make their own gravity, to use the metaphor. So in a form of governance, I think that being open to everyone and hearing everyone's voices and bringing that together into its own community is powerful the same. Now, limited gravity implies that the gravity of the government itself is small, which I think is good. But we also need to remind ourselves that if we consider everyone that's part of the community, the gravity becomes higher. So in that way, maybe I'm not the best candidate for that. But if you just consider the governance part of it, I think I fit in quite well with it.
Candidate Clown, what makes you the best candidate for limited gravity governance?
Well, I, for one, think rather than limited gravity, we should have unlimited gravity. Put it in the hands of the people, but also me, because I'm objectively and always right. And I think we should, speaking of my previously mentioned turn the moon into a ring plan, we'd have more moons per moon. The people would be able to choose their own gravity per moon.
Interesting take. Marn, I think we've got some questions from the audience. Would you like to share the first one?
Yes. Let me grab our first audience question. Our first audience question comes from King and Commoner, who asks, "What is your plan for exporting all of the cheese from the moon?" Of course.
Can I take this one?
Let's start with Candidate Hopkins. Riley, tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So currently with the cheese, our current system is that we send it to cheesemongers on Earth, so that way Andrew Sherman never gets a hold of the moon cheese, as he is too nervous to talk to the cheesemongers. Now, under our new moon mayoral system, it will no longer be a regency, which means we won't be after my enemies particularly. And so with that comes a action to free the cheese. And so I would like for everyone to get a stimulus cheese. I think everybody should get one wheel of cheese of their choice sent to their house. And then they can rock with it.
Any rebuttals for this this one cheese wheel in every pot policy coming from the incumbent king?
I do
I
have
would like to rebuttal.
would also like to
Let's hear
rebut.
from candidate Nessa.
I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you on down to what? Electric Avenue. And that's why I can't abide by that.
Cloud, do you have a rebuttal?
Sort of. I had more of a clarification I'd like candidate King Riley to make, which is you've discussed rock, but what about roll? I know you've mentioned that it's a wheel, but you haven't covered roll. And I think that's a bit of a short-minded decision.
Rock and roll. You'll notice that I say rock and roll pretty often. As far as the ring situation, while it is good to imagine different formats of the moon, I do think that we shouldn't be thinking too hard about ring moons until the thing comes to us, until we start making those decisions directly.
Candidate Stormer, a cheese rebuttal or a ring rebuttal?
A plan to save just enough of the cheese for every person on the moon to get one wheel each. What a good enough pitch from Lord Riley Hopkins. Why? I asked the question, why are we taking the scraps? We're harvesting the cheese. Why are we not getting 2 wheels apiece, 3 wheels? Why are we sending our best cheese off to Earth? Why is it that we don't get our share? Why is it that we are subservient in cheese distribution? Why is it that we have to save some of our cheese when it is not that Earth will get our scraps of cheese? I think we can dream bigger. Play my fucking music.
Can I get
Candidate Hopkins?
Jeff, this is Andrew. We don't have music. I need you to stop.
King
Max,
Riley.
Max says you would have had to put in an expense ticket 48 hours beforehand.
Now, Jeff, I understand your concern. However, I want you, if you can, to go to your fridge right now and tell me where you would place not alone 1 wheel of cheese, but 2. And with that information, that's one of the things I look forward to, is not only like, what can people get? What's the most I can give people? But what actually works in their lives? I don't know how things go over there in Philadelphia, but it just doesn't work like that. You can't give people cheese that's going to go bad. That's rude. You want to give people the right amount of cheese. Go Birds.
Speaking of cheese, our next question.
Oh, I would like to answer that question, actually.
All right, candidate Sylvie, tell us more about
Cheese. So, luckily, transporting things off the moon is a lot easier than transporting them off of Earth. That makes the actual transport situation a lot easier. It's easier to launch, less gravity. You don't have the atmosphere in the way.
Mhm.
It actually makes the logistics so easy. The problem I see more so is creating the demand for cheese. And I think some of it's a culture issue where the moon sort of, well, the food situation that people perceive isn't great. You think of like foods on the moon, you think of like this astronaut garbage stuff. I don't think that's great. I think instead we should appeal to the cultural history with cheese, of course, and also I think rice cakes are another major target. So both of those together.
Our next question let's see here, is what makes you the tallest candidate for limited gravity governance? This one's going to go to candidate Nessa.
I won't lie. I'm about what? Transparency. I am 5'3" and I'm lying. I'm 5'2" and 3/4. I'm very short by most people's standards, but I say it's a normal height, and on the moon, the gravity's weird and people get taller. So who's to say that with a leg lengthening procedure and some time on the moon, I couldn't be taller than all you fuckers?
Any rebuttals on the tallest candidate? I don't see any. Oh, yes, of course, King Riley.
I'm 6 foot flat. I think I'm just straight up the tall. I think I'm the third tallest member of Moonshot. I think
Is
that's
that with
just
or
my-
without the crown?
The crown adds actually 2 inches and gets me to 6'2", which is Batman's height. But currently I'm 6 foot, which is Dick Grayson's height. Which is
Really,
fine.
Riley? You're taller than me? I couldn't see you down there.
Yeah,
Riley, just
you're
be
way
glad you're
up
not
there.
Jason Todd's height.
I actually don't. I think Jason Todd might be 5'10". I think they
No,
go
he's
down
also
to
6 foot.
He's 6 foot. Good for him. I hope he lives through the night.
All right, add Riley to the poll.
Now, Nessa, you did just say you were 5'2" and change, and I want to say there's places on the moon for people as short as you. We have Mac or Stagehand backstage rolling around on stilts, except for them, stilts come out to be pretty much the same height as a normal person, which is really great. And so there's
Well,
plenty of
I've
space
just
for short
grown a
people.
lot in the last couple of seconds, so clearly I'm fine.
Yeah, you're
Candidate
great.
Stormer, the floor is yours.
Short's a state of mind, and none of these fuckers are tall enough to ride a roller coaster. I yield my time. No, I will now sit in silence.
I raised my hand.
Yes, candidate Clown, what makes you the tallest candidate for limited gravity governance?
I will be perfectly honest. I am not. I'm a cat. I'm short. Play Jeff's music. I yield my time.
Incredible.
Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking.
Rebuttal.
Thank you, Andy.
Yes, candidate Sylvie.
It's Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. That's what it is.
Okay, sorry. Let's ask the next question is
Can I pose a question to my opponents here, Juliet? Is that okay?
Are you the moderator, Riley?
No, that's why I'm asking.
You can donate $10 to
You
Advocates
can
for
donate
Trans Equality right
$10.
now.
Yeah.
You know what?
The next question, of course, is what should be the new anthem of Moontropolis City? Sylvie, let's go to you.
Yes. Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Admittedly, the song is not entirely just about the moon, but it is about love, and it ties that love to the moon, and I think that's beautiful. And also, it's so good. Such a good song. Of course, we'd have to work that out with this his estate and all that. But, but I think if I could choose.
Candidate Stormy, you've been mentioning music quite a lot.
Yeah, of
What
course.
should be
No,
the
I
new
think-
anthem?
I would love to give a rebuttal. I think it's a wonderful question, to which I would say, Fly Me to the Moon, great song, iconic, end theme song of Evangelion. Everybody loves Evangelion. One
Sure.
of the all-time greats. Can I ask actually a question, though, in response to that? Could you tell me what planet on which that song was written? Could you tell me the planet of origin of the song?
Yes, Planet Earth.
Oh, Earth. Oh, interesting. So we should define ourselves by the music of the planet Earth and not something that is moon-born. Rather interesting. Really, really interesting.
I think it's
How
better than a
fascinating
homage.
that we are once again witnessing our candidates.
I raise my hand.
Candidate Clown.
Jeff, what planet is Philadelphia on?
Philadelphia is a standalone planet that exists in its own plane of existence. I yield my time.
Play
I
Jeff's
have been
music.
informed I do not have music and therefore cannot play my music.
Candidates Hopkins or Nessa, any rebuttals on this topic?
I believe that the choice for Moon Anthem should be chosen by the people. I would love to, after our Moontropolis stream, or maybe even in the middle of it tomorrow, talk to the people, see what they want their theme to be. I have many such ideas, such as ska music, but I want to know what the people want.
Candidate King Riley Hopkins, we've got a question here specifically for you. King Riley seems unable to focus a camera. How able are you to focus on the things that matter?
And as that question asker can clearly see, the camera's focused now. And so what do? I adapt. I switch from what I want. Would I have liked to stand in front of the painting of me? Yes. However, I am standing here in front of you, making a plea to you to be Moon Mayor. And just like that, I can switch. And frankly, I bet you didn't even notice, which is what's so important, to get things done quickly and efficiently.
Mern, I think we've got a question in from a voter named Izzy.
Yes. Izzy asked Jeff, will you make sure the moon is safe for deer?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
You got to hand it to him. He has a great point.
Deer has had my back. The moon will have deer's back. I yield my time.
Me and Jeff can agree absolutely 100% on how to protect deer. It's one of the reasons that Jeff and I are closely associated. Isn't that right, Jeff? You and I deeply agree on deer, right?
I see what you're trying to do here.
Now,
Can you answer the question, Jeff?
Now, we do also have a question from Nattery for all candidates. That says, candidates, what is your favorite bird? If you don't already have a favorite bird, you've lost my vote.
American kestrel, followed up by the goldfinch, followed up by the bank swallow. I love bank swallows for their black and blue. It's so pretty with the white bellies. Mwah.
I'm
Gorgeous.
sorry, candidate Hopkins, you'll need to be more specific. Which goldfinch?
Oh, the Iowa State bird. That one.
Okay. Candidate Clown, favorite bird?
I will admit, I am nothing if not honest, unless it's funny to not be honest. My favorite animal is crabs, and crabs exclusively. I truly do not care about any other animal. Also, I am, as previously mentioned, some sort of cat JPEG jester monstrosity and eat birds, and would like to continue doing so. Thank you. Yes, I yield my time.
Oh, also, fly, eagles, fly.
Go birds.
Candidate Stormer, you have been noted as a either aficionado or expert on birds. What's your expertise on birds and their going?
Well, see, some of my competition, namely Lord Riley, would likely say that their favorite bird is Swoop, the Philadelphia Eagle mascot, in their attempt to glom onto my campaign. I, as an actual expert, will tell you that my favorite bird is Challenger, the eagle that flies over the stadium during all of the Philadelphia Eagles games at the culmination of the start of every game. So my favorite bird is Challenger, a beloved eagle and a Philadelphia institution. You can find that out. You can find videos of Challenger. It's very cute. It's a little bird, flies around, gets a little treat. It's great.
Candidate Nessa, favorite bird?
I'm not gonna lie. The secretary bird from Agretzutko, the TV show.
Nessa.
Specific
Good answer.
and specific. Candidate Sylvie,
Yes.
favorite bird?
Favorite bird? It's a snowy owl. Specifically, or I don't know what it is about it, but I think owls are associated with wisdom, is some of it, and there's just something very serene about it. That's all.
Beautiful, elegant, deadly. Sure.
Much
Moving
like
on to the
Sylvie.
next question. Candidate Nessa, what Earth time zone should Moontropolis City use on the moon?
I know you. Did you prepare these questions yourself?
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
To my constituents, none. We are not Earth. We're the moon. We have our own stuff going on. It's not the same time here as it is in New York or China. End of list. The two places. England, third place. It's not the same time. And the way the communications work, there's no reason that we should need to have Earth time zone. We should have moon time zone. MTZ. I yield my time.
Candidate King Riley Hopkins, a rebuttal.
Currently, the moon works on Eastern time. This is something that I believe works as we are a predominantly Eastern time zone based network. That being said, if I'm elected on the third day of Moontropolis, we could put up a poll of what time zone the moon should use. We could ask the people. I was born in Central Time. I love Central Time. However, if we want to stay in Eastern, if we want to dance to Mountain, if we want to go all the way to Pacific and be doing things to ask crack of dawn, we can. But it's up to the people, I think.
I raised my hand.
Candidate Clown, what Earth time zone should Metropolis City use on the moon under your administration?
Personally, I think we should use whatever time zone we are currently above. Yes, that means we will probably be at the same time, like forever, as the Earth rotates. I yield my time.
Interesting. Candidate Sylvie, do you have any more specific? We've seen from Candidate Riley this assumption of leaving things just to the people. Do you have a stronger leadership in mind as far as selecting a time zone for stability and a bold vision for the future of Moontropolis?
Oh gosh, the actual name of the term escapes me, but there is if we have the chance to reinvent how we are doing time on the moon,
Sure.
why tie ourselves to the second? There's a lot of potential for innovation there. Now, of course, we're coordinating with Earth, probably going to have some sort of conversion to Greenwich Mean Time, unfortunately, but logistically, that's how that works. I don't think that should be a cultural standpoint, though. I think the moon should use its own system. Honestly, it should just come up with, sorry.
Oh, no. Candidate Stormer, should Moontropolis City be suborned to the Philadelphia time zone?
Only time I care about is right now. It's right here and how we can make things a little bit better for the people around us. I yield my time.
You yield your time and your zone. Candidate Nessa, what natural lunar disasters will your administration be prepared for?
More importantly, we need to be prepared for asteroids. A big asteroid. That's how we got created. A big asteroid hit Earth, and we came out of Earth. Just big chunk. Well, if you believe what the scientists say. But we also need to be aware of Godzilla feet and tornadoes and pools without ladders. That's a big one.
Candidate Clown, Candidate Sylvie, a rebuttal to
yes, I just wanted to ask Candidate Nessa, how specifically are you planning to deal with those disasters?
Planning on building more hospitals, so that way when Godzilla does come for us, there will be more hospitals available for him or her to squish. I don't know Godzilla's gender.
Can I rebuttal Nessa really quickly?
Candidate Hopkins.
Which of your cousins is going to build the hospital?
That would be Cinny.
Simmy.
No, Vinny builds the roads, Cinny builds the hospitals.
Is this big city or little city?
Medium Cinny.
I am walking here.
Candidate
Clown, you've suggested an additional natural disaster in the form of, I believe, being crushed or crunched, such to make a ring.
Personally, I was thinking more of an implosion, but yes.
And your administration will prepare the populace for such an upheaval?
Yes. We would simply... excuse me, pardon me. We would simply tech it. Thank you.
Oh.
An unusual answer. Candidate Stormer, your rebuttal.
Y'all remember that weird episode of Doctor Who where the moon was an egg and then it turned into like a whole weird metaphor and then the moon exploded and it was a dragon and then the moon flew away but then another moon replaced it and they just never like acknowledged that the moon exploded and it was also an egg with a dragon inside? If you remember this episode, please donate for me in the chat and just post like, what the hell was going on with that episode? It's a weird, bad episode of the show. I yield my time.
Sorry, first time chatter came in to say that they hated that episode.
That episode.
Well, hey, listen. If you hated that episode as much as I did, go donate to Advocates for Trans Equality. They do important work, but also vote for Jeff Stormer, who reminded us all about that really bad episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, not so much a rebuttal, but Jeff, that episode made me stop watching Doctor Who. So.
It's really bad.
Wow. Really makes you think. Marn, I think I see another question from King and Commoner.
Can I answer?
Yes. We have another one.
Sylvie, would you like another rebuttal on the question?
I wanted to actually answer the question.
Oh well. Please do.
If I may. So I think this is one of the big specific advantages of the Arcology project. I think large terraforming projects of the moon are a complete waste of time, a disaster, and frankly harmful if successful. I think limiting it to small individualized domes prevents a lot of the potential harm that comes from that, while preserving the moon as it is. In addition, there's the meteor problems. And the nice thing about an archaeological dome, well, it's maybe kind of silly, but let me see, where was it? There it is. If a meteor's coming and you have it contained, you can just move the city out of the way because you can't stop the meteor. And yeah, that's my answer.
Perhaps somewhat defeatist, but a good segue. Martin, can you give us the
King and Commoner asked, Riley, what do you say to the accusations that you are using government resources to influence voters?
I actually legit don't have access to the Moonshot money. That goes directly to our treasurer. I do not interact with it at all. So the accusations are truly baseless and put together by somebody like Jeff Stormer, who has no love for politics nor the moon. It is truly, I don't interact with it. It's one of those things that's just like so wrong. I don't have access
King and Commoner has clarified not funds, resources, such as the Tiltify poll.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd love to put up a poll that says, how would you like to have every single Pokemon back in Champs in the Making? Donate here. But that's not within my ability, King.
Did you ask to do that? Because I could have done that.
No, but I didn't know I could. And also, I feel like it would really ruin the show if I was like, and all the Pokemon are back now.
Well, we've been talking about this for months of what to do now that Champs is done. Honestly, just putting all the Pokemon back and starting over from scratch would honestly solve a lot of our problems.
Be like, Nessa's here and she has a gun. And she says we got to do it all over again.
Candidate Stormer, on a adjacent topic, what do you think about keeping Dark Side of the Moon money out of politics?
Here's the thing. I think that we should absolutely be keeping Dark Side out of the Moon money out of politics, because I think there's better uses for Dark Side of the Moon money. It should be buying patchouli. It should be buying Cheetos. It should be buying blacklight posters. It should be buying DVDs of Degrassi. It should be buying a DVD copy of Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie that you put on, and then halfway through, Matt Johnson looks you in the fucking eye and talks to you about the movie that you're watching. That sobers you up real fucking quickly. I think there's far better uses for Dark Side of the Moon money than spending it in politics, which is why we should step it aside and keep it out of our hands and into the hands of the people that need it, the makers of bongs, the makers of Jaffa cakes, the makers of little fans for you to blow smoke away from your smoke detectors. The people that need that money should be getting that money.
Candidate Clown, a rebuttal to Candidate Stormer's statement. I'm just calling
didn't
on
think I did. Okay. Oh, okay. I just have. Okay, yes, I do have a rebuttal. I think keeping Dark Side of the Moon money out of politics is, and pardon my French here, pussy shit. Thank you. I cede my time.
Thank you
Can
to
we
my
play
mother-in-law
Clown's
for
music? Can we
donating
play Clown's
$10.
music?
Thank you so much, Trace.
Thank you. Thank you, Riley's mother-in-law. Sorry for cursing in front of you.
That's fine. No, she's cool.
Candidate Sylvie or Nessa, do you have...
I kind of resent the term Dark Side of the Moon money, because if you're talking about literal Dark Side of the Moon money, there's something abnormal about the Dark Side of the Moon. A lovely place. You can get really good photography specifically from there because you don't have an atmosphere in the way, and depending on if it's facing the sun, of course, when it's facing away from the sun. But in terms of dark money specifically, I mean, absolutely keep it away. Don't touch that shit.
Candidate Nessa, should we assume that you're pro the acceptance of money in most of its forms?
Yeah, I don't care. Their money's as purple as the rest of ours. Or whatever color moon money is. Dark side of the moon money, light side of the moon money, give me your money.
It's actually
I
the
don't
same.
care. You think it's going to influence me? I do what I want. They could give me all the money in the world to build a large bong or something, or I don't know, make it requirement for everyone in school to watch Pink Floyd's The Wall once a week. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to.
Once a week.
Yeah, on Fridays.
Okay.
Candidate Riley, a rebuttal.
Emma's shit is whack because we all know we watched Dark Side of the Moon with The Wizard of Oz. The Wall is its own movie. If you wanted to make it relate directly to the question, you could have gone that path.
Probably, but I only watched The Wall, and that's the only thing that I have seen. Because I had a group of friends who watched it every week, and I never saw it.
Every week is crazy.
Wait, hold on.
Every week is crazy.
In real life?
Look, sometimes you move to a new country, and everyone ignores you for 6 months, and then you get one friend and she starts dating a really weird guy, and you're like, all right, I guess I just do whatever this dude and his friends do now, I guess.
And that thing was, they weren't even in America. They're like, let's watch The Wall over and over.
Yes. And drink.
Candidate Stormer, your rebuttal.
If I don't win this election, I will force everyone in this chat to watch the Doug Walker version of The Wall.
Oh, no! Vote for
that
Jeff,
is a
please!
threat. You can donate right now to keep that from happening.
No!
I welcome Jeff's invitations, and I will add it to the server that we'll all have access to so we can watch it in a call together and Twitch stream it.
This is genuine. Dropping the character for a second. Genuinely, I will text my relatives to vote for Jeff right now. If he's committed to actually making us do that,
You have no idea how serious I am about this.
Candidate Sylvie, do you have any rebuttal or rejection of this idea that we should negotiate with pleas for moon terrorism, like Jeff has proposed?
Just what? Why even consider? Why? Look.
Why make the threat? Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Sylvie, are you taking the we don't negotiate with terrorists angle?
Ooh.
Sylvie W. Bush over there? Should I get my flip-flops ready to throw at you?
You can, if
That's
you
a different
can.
candidate, Riley. The flip-flops was John Kerry. Just for the record.
Oh,
Wow,
Bush had an
Riley
actual ass
Hopkins
shoe. You're
just
right.
admits
Yeah.
that Riley Hopkins does not know history. And you know what's said about people who don't know history? Wow, Riley.
Do you
Yeah.
know my baby sister was on Carrie's website page, like John Kerry's website, like as like holding her as a little kid from like the Democratic
Aw.
primaries.
Oh my god.
What I will say is this. I've watched that episode of Doctor Who. I'll watch whatever Jeff has to put in front of me.
Wow. A
Yeah,
martyr
I
for the
remembered
people.
a important family memory that Riley just reminded me of that will make this all real awkward really fast. My
no.
dad was in the Twin Towers on the day of the 9/11 attack, but left
You
before,
told me this.
and then went to go play foosball at his friend's house.
Good for him.
That
You
rules.
told me this, Cloud.
Thank you,
That
I see my
rules.
time.
Can you imagine
Cloud?
a world where Cloud? Never mind. Hold on.
Hold on.
That's
I would
a-
actually.
that's
I'm just gonna go ahead, Andrew. I'm just gonna take controls for a second and just go ahead and play some cloud music. Just... There we go.
Clown, is this a
Just
reason
left
why
that.
voters should vote for you?
Yes.
Because Clown did that with their mind.
Clown's like a reverse Absol.
They made their dad leave.
Yeah.
And don't we
Their dad
all-
leave. It's a crazy thing to say. You did that with your mind. Yeah, your dad went out to get cigarettes and never came back.
No,
and you did that with-
they psychically. Clown, were you?
Yeah,
I did that to my mom
Were you
too.
born
You
yet
ain't
or no?
special.
the representation for the moonshot voter, I think, for those
Yeah.
who made
You
their
psychically
dad
saved your dad from 9/11.
leave. Candidate
I will not
Stormer,
hear a rebuttal on this, Jeff.
Was that an option? Can we do that?
I want to say, I want to say, the story that I'm about to tell is not actually relate to any of my fellow candidates, but I need to say it anyway. Do y'all know the story about the guy from the TV show The League who said in an interview that he was in the towers on 9/11 and that he had to escape, and then it came out later that wasn't true?
Which guy from the league?
Vaguely.
Not one of the Duplass brothers, and not any other guys that were comedians after this. But yeah, go ahead. Proceed.
The other one, the one you think it is, probably.
Anyway,
We're so
I
far
yield
off
my
the
time. I yield
rails.
my time. Yeah, please continue to ask questions. I didn't mean to derail the segment.
Right. A change of pace here, perhaps. Candidate King Riley Hopkins.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at a picture of the guy who lied about 9/11 on.
Of course you were. In space, can anyone hear you podcast?
Yeah. Our listeners are in the chat right now. I'd be a fool to say the Moonshot universe doesn't listen to me podcast.
Any rebuttals? Any let's go to candidate Sylvie first.
Mine's quick. Me personally, no. I don't have a podcast.
That's very true.
Bold
However-
leadership.
However, rebuttal. Sylvie has been on Champs in the Making, have you not?
I have not.
Were you not on any of the live episodes of Champs in the Making?
I was not.
I don't think so.
None of them, for real?
None of them.
You've been on Once Miss Wonders, though, right?
I have been on Once Miss
That's
Wonders.
it. That's it.
Caught
Hot
Wonders,
line
Wonders, which you can find at patreon.com/Moonshot Network, alongside
can.
other
lying
shows.
on the fucking debate floor.
Candidate
Almost
Stormer,
like-
Nothing in my life will ever make me feel worse than having to say the words. But candidate Riley is exactly correct by the canon that we've established in this debate. We are capable of the moon on hearing music, and therefore similar audio things would be capable of being heard. So yes, you can podcast on the moon unless we are negating the premise, which we all agree is bad improv, then yes, we can podcast on the moon. I don't feel good agreeing with Riley, but I do have to when the facts line up in a way that they do. I believe in yes and, not yes, no. I yield my time.
Retcon, but
Please play Clown's music.
Speaking of Clown, do you have a take on the matter?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
My take on the matter?
Yeah.
Well,
Why are you surprised? It's a debate, girl.
Marn, what's our next question from the voters in
and
the
that's all I
audience?
would like to say. I yield my time.
Our next question from the audience, let me pull them up. From Captain Wild, how will our candidates prevent supervillains from building weapons in/on the moon?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Excellent question. Let's
I
start
raise
with
my
candidate
hand.
Nessa.
Great question. The album that I think best represents the moon is Trolls 3 Band Together. I didn't get to answer the song question earlier, and I wanted to answer it, so.
Candidate Clown, how will you best prevent supervillains from building weapons in our bases on the moon?
I'm gonna be honest, that there's no way I can follow that one up.
Nessa, your sister just donated $100 for you, by the way.
Oh. Hi, Sinead. I'm assuming it's Sinead.
It is.
Yes.
My personal opinion is that we should rather encourage our small local businesses to build what they need to thrive on the moon, regardless of implied morality.
Now, are you saying that a supervillain is a small local business?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
And
there a
as-
supervillain in the room with us here tonight?
Probably.
King Riley Hopkins, what's your rebuttal?
I know some of my competitors would say that there is a supervillain in this room tonight, and I know that Jeff is mad that he didn't get to that joke first, but like many things, I've beat him to the punch. I do agree with Clown that we should invest in our local moon villains. It is something that so often we see weapons being built in or on or around the moon, and instead I say we should build them in, on, or around the Earth. I think we should take it back to them and see how much they enjoy it. Maybe half the Earth blows up and it's got a big laser beam and it's called Project Arc 2. Maybe, we brought monkeys from space and they get really big under light of the moon. There's many things we could do if we just work together and invested in local moon villains.
Interesting that you call them villains and not businesses, Riley.
Well, the question was about supervillains. I'm not going to tiptoe around the topic. I'm going to get directly to what it is.
Candidate Stormer, or a rebuttal to the King's proclamation?
I don't necessarily disagree with the king, and what I would point to is what I've pointed to a lot. You know, I would say we look back at media, we look back at the history of super weapons being built on the moon, and we look at where those villains came from and where they've chosen to deploy those weapons. I think that we see a very simple candidate, and it is a candidate that each one of these competitors has said that we should bow to, and we should beg for their scraps, and we should export our cheese to that planet. So once again, I point to them and say, you're the ones in bed with Earth. I'm saying we let the moon do its thing. I yield my time. Play Riley's music.
Can I rebuttal really quickly?
Yes, candidate King Riley Hopkins.
Jeff, I agree with you so often in this. And I think what I'm coming to realize is that
we should have a Survivor-style alliance.
I think we should have a Survivor-style alliance. Absolutely.
Damn it.
Listen. I'm never going to betray you. I'm never
going to betray you in my life.
Here's the plan.
I would say
we take out Nessa first.
Take out Nessa first. Jeff for Daymare, me for Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare, that describes pretty well.
The tribal council, we're locked in. We just need to make sure that there are more traitors than there are faithful at the council, and we're fine.
I didn't want to let anyone know about this. I got an immunity item, buddy. And I think they're going to come for you, and I'm putting it on you. Okay? I'm putting it on you.
Candidate Sylvie, do you have a rebuttal to the idea that we should be declaring war on Earth and building more weapons on Earth and destroying part of Earth in a large crater with a laser?
Yes, that's bad. I don't think I need to explain why. But I will say, I understand people being worried about moon villains and whatnot, and having a response of like, well, you can't beat them, join them. I think it's a red herring. I don't think moon villains are a problem because we just don't have the resources to support villainous operations at this time on the moon. Now, I think it is a question that may need to be dealt with later, But for the moment, at least for the next few years, I do not see this being an issue.
As we've got some contention here, Marn, I think I see another question from Izzy.
Yes. Let me go grab that. Izzy asks, how will you settle disputes between moon residents?
Good question.
Can I take this one, please?
Yes, candidate Clown, under your administration, how will you settle disputes between moon residents?
Gladiatorial combat. Thank you.
Good. That's really good.
Weapon of choice?
Me personally?
Or
I don't
for the
know.
combatants? Oh, okay.
I don't see what my weapon of choice has to do with this, but I don't know, probably I don't know. I have a family sword. Like in actual real life. Probably that.
Of course you do.
Of course. Of course. You can see my family sword right there. You might not be able to see it in the crop. Candidate Nessa, under your administration, how will you settle disputes between moon residents? And do you think gladiatorial combat, just free for all with no rules or regulations, is the right course of action?
Answering your first question, whoever gives me more money is correct, unless I think that their power is becoming too great and they are a threat to me or to us, the people of the moon. And for your second question, no.
Candidate Stormer, a rebuttal.
I would love to say I think there's a better way to resolve conflicts, and I think that you saw it here on screen just now. We've been, candidate Riley and I have been butting heads all night, and what we did was we formed a survivor-style alliance, and that resolved the issue. And we're going to take out our enemies collectively, and then we're going to, inevitably backstab one another. But to the question of what my weapon of choice is, I would say for that answer, you merely need to listen to the sound of my voice, because you can check it on out. It's the weapon of choice. You can blow with this, or you can blow with that. You can blow with this, or you can blow with that. You can blow with this, or you can blow with that. You can blow with this, or you can blow with that.
Interesting. Riley Hopkins, your rebuttal.
As I've dealt with issues on the moon before, people have come to me and presented them to me in a PowerPoint. I've talked through that with them, and I have gotten answers and solutions live on stream. And it has been a joy. And in fact, I would like to make those more often. To talk through Parliament. My Parliament meets pretty often to go over these things. So listen, I think the system we have right now is working, and I think it produces content. And the thing I really want to challenge my opponents, besides Jeff, out today is, what have you done to raise money on the Moontropolis May stream? What have you done to create content? I ask that to everyone else, besides Jeff, because I think it's obvious.
Candidate Stormer,
Do we have to answer? Do we have to answer him? Because he
technically no, because Riley did not donate $10.
Better, even better. Let the question linger. Let it linger in the air.
Of course. The king not being willing to put in the personal stake. Candidate Sylvie, Candidate Clown, do you have a immediate rebuttal to the king?
Yes, which is the Divine Right of Kings, and also that I didn't hear the question because I was busy Googling to double check my facts, but I am also legitimately, like, my mom got real into ancestry, and I'm legitimately a descendant of fucking Charlemagne, like the guy Charlemagne who like inspired Arthurian myths or like got combined with it. So yeah.
For whom we have to blame the entire schooling system. And why children have to go to school all day every week. Sacre Charlemagne, as
it's nepotism all the way down because I'm a teacher. So
Divine Right of Clowns.
Divine Right of Clowns is
Divine Right of Charlemagne.
Sylvie,
yes.
How do you think, under your administration, how would disputes between moon residents be settled? And do you think gladiatorial combat or the Divine Right of Kings are the answer?
I will immediately answer the second part of the question. No to both. I think the way that you handle this depends on the scale of the dispute to some degree. I do actually kind of like Jeff's answer about a survivor style alliance, to be honest. But that wasn't the question, I guess. I think certain low-level issues can be worked out between individuals. I do think having different ombudsmen for different areas to help escalate things, or help not escalate things, de-escalate conflicts that have escalated to a level where simply talking it out between the individuals will not work. There may need to be at some point a higher court for extreme issues, but I think it should be used sparingly.
Thank you, candidates. I would like to hear who would like to read the civic pledge for Moon Mayor first.
As the current incumbent Moon King, I would love to.
I'm seeing Nessa. I'm seeing Hopkins. Let's jump to that, and we'll give each of you a try. Of course, as we all know, diction is the most important part of being a mayor. That's why they call it jurisdiction. And so, the Moon Mayoral Civic Pledge will be a test of how civic you are. And the better you are and the quicker you are at reading it, the more civic you are. Let's start with Nessa here. And can you read this civic pledge for us, Nessa? We'll give each of the candidates a try.
Okay. This civic pledge is a gubernatorial lunar tutorial for extraterrestrial ambassadorial editorials as a celestial heaven-sent crescent-lent light to the star-struck streets for mercurial expectorials to be factorial corporeal. A lunar marooning on a blue moon may or may not boon a lunar mare. A lunar boon from a blue moon may or may not balloon. A lunar mare, but a lunar mare moon ballooning may soon be lunar marooning.
Some stumbles there. Candidate Hopkins, let's hear your civic pledge.
This civic pledge is a gubernatorial lunar tutorial for extraterrestrial ambassadorial editorials as a celestial heaven-sent crescent-lent light to the star-struck streets. For mercurial expectorials to be factorial corporeal, a lunar marooning on a blue moon may or may not boon a lunar mare. A lunar boon from a blue moon may or may not balloon a lunar mare. But a lunar mare moon ballooning may soon be lunar marooning.
Close, almost there. Let's hear from candidate Stormer on the Lunar Mayor Civic Pledge.
This civic pledge is a gubernatorial lunar tutorial for extraterrestrial ambassadorial editorials as a celestial heaven-sent crescent light to the star-struck streets. For mercurial expectorials to be factorially corporeal, a lunar marooning on a blue moon may or may not boon a lunar mare. A lunar boon from a blue moon may or may not balloon a lunar mare, but a lunar mare moon ballooning may soon be lunar marooning.
Very close, just two little hiccups there. Candidate Clown, let's hear your take on the Mayoral Civic Pledge.
All right, let me put on the teacher voice for this. The Civic Pledge is a gubernational lunar tutorial for extraterrestrial ambassadorial editorials as a celestial heaven-sent crescent-lent light to the star-struck streets. For mercurial expectorials to be factorial corporeal, a lunar marooning on a blue moon may or may not boon a lunar mare. A lunar boon from a blue moon may or may not balloon a lunar mare. But a lunar mare moon ballooning may soon be lunar marooning.
And finally, candidate Sylvie, can you give us the Lunar Mayor's Civic Pledge?
This civic pledge is a gubernatorial lunar tutorial for extraterrestrial ambassadorial editorials as a celestial heaven-sent crescent-lent light to the star-struck streets. For mercurial expectorials to be factorially corporeal, a lunar marooning on a blue moon may or may not boon a lunar mare.
Here.
A lunar boon from a blue moon may or may not balloon a lunar mare. But a lunar mare moon ballooning may soon be lunar marooning.
Wow. thank you to all of our candidates. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you all for your civic pledge. On that note, what would you, as Moon Mayor, do or have done to the current Moon King? Let's see here. Let's start with candidate Nessa.
Defenestration, but we are on the moon, so I don't think it would take. But it's about the principle of the act. If you don't know, defenestration is when you throw someone from a window, I believe.
Yes.
Invented in Prague.
Invented in Prague. Wow, like Franz Kafka.
Yeah.
Candidate Clown, what would you, as Moon Mayor, do or have done to the current Moon King?
I'll be honest. I'm unsure. I think we should let the people decide what should become of the Moon King. Whether it be a sort of like French guillotine situation or just kind of a like, yeah, he can chill. Yeah.
Let's hear from, of course, let's hear from candidate Riley Hopkins. What would you, as Moon Mayor, do to the current Moon King?
I would continue to slowly beat him down over years and years and years of mental depression and working to become a better person, but it would hurt really bad the whole time.
A compelling sentence, I think, perhaps. Candidate Sylvie, what's your answer to the current Moon King, and under your administration, what would you have done to them?
It depends on how well they give up power. If they're willing to give up power, no holds barred, nothing like that. I think they can be reintegrated into society with time. However, if they don't, this will need to go to a larger trial. Worst case scenario, perhaps marooning, as we were just talking about.
Can I rebuttal really quickly?
Yes, of course, candidate Riley.
I put together the moon elections. I'm giving up power.
Ooh, I would like to rebuttal.
Yeah. Riley?
Yeah.
Goal throne.
Like a bird?
Yeah.
That's another option instead of defenestration.
Want to point everyone's attention to Sylvie's.
Oh, I can put it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm blind.
Also, you put together the election, Riley? You put together the election?
That's what every news that went out about it said.
Interesting.
And candidate Stormer, what would you have done to the current Moon King under your administration as Moon Mayor?
The current Moon King, Riley, is one of my closest friends, dearest confidants, staunchest allies. We have a well-documented alliance, a survivor-style alliance. And, I want to honor that. And I want to say, like, Riley, we're ride or die until the end. And the answer to that question, Riley, I'm sorry. I love you. Immediate execution. This motherfucker is a tyrant and needs to be dragged through the streets. Survivor betrayal. Ha
Wow. Wow, no one saw this betrayal coming. I think let's all just take a moment to reel with the shock and awe and our capacity as humans for such a betrayal. A rebuttal from the Moon King?
I am upset. I'm obviously shocked at this. I don't think that this changes my feelings on Jeff. He plays a shrewd game and he plays a serious game. And frankly, he's the only one that's stuck to the facts. Everyone else has made up things about my character, made up things about who I am, but Jeff's telling it like it is. And you know what? I appreciate that. If I gotta lose to anybody, I'm glad it's to him.
I raise my hand for rebuttal.
Let's go to Clown for a first rebuttal.
Well, as to raising a sort of fictionalized character of you, or viewing you in the wrong light, I would just like to say, nuh-uh. Thank you.
That's why she's the best in the business.
Riley,
Sylvie? Yeah.
would you say that you have been being completely honest yourself? Just
No, but because Sylvie,
because I think you've
I'm
been
so
hiding
scared
something.
of whatever you have based on everything you've
You've been
told me.
hiding something, Riley. Can we talk about a little city called Moonport?
Moonport?
Moonport.
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 Do you not remember
Yeah.
Moonport, Riley? Because Moonport remembers you.
What is this? Hold on. What do we have here? This is a image.
Yeah, this was from Discord on November 20th, 2023. Riley posts, "The city of Moonport grows," with a picture and a note. "Ignore all the little lights that say angry."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Mind
I
you,
remember that.
Riley, this is not the first time this has happened.
Oh,
There was
we're
another
going to,
time.
We're going to the lake, aren't we?
Well, unfortunately, that no longer exists. However, I do at least have some record of a lesson in hubris and pollution with city skylines. So if you could tell the people about Shit Lake,
Shit
that'd be
Lake
appreciated.
was a upsetting
Mm.
time in my first run with City Skylines, where I did not want to pollute the local river, and so instead I was like, I'm gonna make a big hole and pour all the sewage for the city in it, and it worked for several years. But the thing is, that water then had nowhere to go, and so eventually it started to overfill, and then pour a kind of shit flood down the mountain onto the city below. And so I was like, I'll pop a hole in the back of it and have it go off the map. That disruption of the mountain caused it to explode up and then come down as if a meteor and everyone got poisoned and died.
What a way to go.
I rest my case.
Nessa, a rebuttal to these cover-ups and these malfeasances of administration. Would that happen under your watch as Moon Mayor?
Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not afraid to pollute the river with shit, so maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't have. I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't make a mistake like that in City Skylines. Because Moontropolis isn't in City Skylines. Moontropolis is in Sim City. So we don't have to worry about that. We have to worry about other things like Godzilla feet and tornadoes.
Little alien spider bot like in the Venture Brothers.
I haven't played Sim City, so probably, I don't know, that seems like some 90s shit that would be in there.
I will say the last thing I did in that file is I clicked 3 different disasters and I immediately saved and closed.
That's awesome.
Looking
That
forward to them.
rules.
As mayor,
Candidate Clown, being a PNG, how do you feel about cover-ups and deleting of earlier files on the internet?
That's fucked up.
Can I say, Sylvie said to
respect
me,
it.
Sylvie said to me that, like, oh yeah, I know your Reddit username. You've had that account for 16 years, and I immediately went and deleted my Reddit account. I was like, you saying that out loud is too scary. That has to go right now.
Candidate Stormer, you've been on both sides of the King Riley fence. How do you feel about these allegations of this cover-up and this discovery?
I'm not getting involved in this. I don't want Sylvie to bust out my tax records or some shit. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. The shit's between y'all.
And what are your tax records?
Oh, countless amounts of fraud. Are you kidding me?
Mm.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said that on mic. Oh,
That's why
crap.
he's so anti-Earth.
It's
Oh,
what
it's
fraud
Cayman
is on
Islands.
Earth.
Wait, Jeff, are you using the moon of the Cayman Islands?
Are we
Yes.
not all doing that?
Oh,
It's actually a really good time right now for me to share some images I've collected from Jeff's Twitter accounts over the years. I hope you're all ready. One moment, I'm gonna pull them up on. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to you. I'm not doing that to you.
I got some private Twitter tweets. I'm just gonna drop here for a second. Oh God.
Yeah.
I
As
would like
Jeff
to-
knows, I have an audio file on my computer that says "burn all bridges," and every week I go in and I cue that for another week later. So when I die, it all goes to hell.
All right. Any candidates' closing statements?
May I go, please?
Candidate Clown, you have 30 seconds.
Remember, I am ontologically right always and have never been wrong ever. Thank you. I cede my time, play Jeff's music.
Concise brevity is the soul of wit, as we always say. Candidate Stormer, your closing statements. You have 45 seconds. Wow.
Go Birds, go Phils, go Union, go Flyers, go Sixers, go Abbott Elementary. I yield my time, play Clown's music.
Wow. As we keep accruing, candidate Sylvie, you have 60 seconds for your closing statements.
My closing statements, I just want to reiterate what I said at the start. I believe in building a strong community, and I would like to announce something that would be a potential way to do that. I don't know. I think it could happen. I think it would be really cool. I think you'd get a lot of records in the high jump. Of course, we're letting trans people compete because we're humans and can treat people well. Also, again, need to reemphasize, don't forget about the sapphics. It's very important to me. And I would like to end that off with, where did it go? I'll find it later. That'll be the end of my time.
All right. Candidate Nessa, in your closing statements, have you forgotten about the sapphics? You have 30 seconds.
For the sapphics, jingle, 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 jingle. See, look, it's your colors. It's your colors. It's on my wrist.
There it is.
I measured myself earlier, probably too loudly. Sorry about that. But at my current height that I made naturally with my body, I am 6 feet tall.
Wow.
And now I'm taller than 6 feet tall, which means
Wow.
I'm going to say maybe 6'4", so suck on that, Riley.
Martin, can you add Nessa to the Jason Todd poll, please?
No. I don't want to live or die.
And
Yeah, ain't that the fucking mood?
as our incumbent, of course, King Riley, your closing statements.
It's been a
The
pleasure to
Moon
have this
Mayoral debate.
election. It's been a pleasure to have this election, and I've been happy to have everyone here compete. No matter what, this is a success for me because this is a thing that I put together and wanted everyone to do. And so this is a pleasure to see it play out in this way. I am looking forward to whoever is going to take it on. I know it'll be done with respect and know it'll be done with style. And most of all, I'm excited to see.
Oh, I'm sorry, candidate. That's the end of your time. Marn, can you tell us who is ahead?
Yeah,
this
I am
culmination.
about to close the poll, so everybody get your last donations in right now. I am going to count down from 10 and then I am going to close the poll. This is your warning if you are on the Tiltify page. Yeah, if you're in line, get out of line. Thank you,
Stop it.
Andrew.
6,
10,
Get her, get off the
9,
Hi.
8, 7, 6,
That's really
5,
fast for a
4,
Twitch delay.
3, 2,
I can continue the counts in chat.
1.
Happy
I'm
New
clicking
Year!
Inactive on this
John
poll.
Cena has entered the Royal Rumble.
You can still donate to Save or Kill Jason Todd. Let me go look at the poll. I believe that in the lead with $470 in donations, Jeff Stormer is now the mayor of the moon.
I just want to say, everybody, Nessa, you did great. You put on a good thing. I'm happy to consider. Wait, what? Fuck. I didn't want to win. Shit.
Have fun fixing
damn
the
it.
city tomorrow.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good point. I don't like responsibility.
I mean, you all are gonna also have to be there, to be clear.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
but we're doing
God.
the evil advisor.
Yeah,
was
you
gonna say,
become the
It's not
city
my fault.
council.
They say you blame the city council, you blame the mayor.
That is true.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I can't believe he
Yeah,
would blow
fuck
up
that
the
guy.
moon like that and make a ring.
Oh, all right. Thank you all for participating in the debate. Thank you to everybody who voted and sent in a question. I believe we are going to throw it to BRB, and then we will be back with radio trivia in like 10 to 15. Probably 10.
Hey, Marn,
Yeah,
play the
see you then.
Christmas music.